Here we are, World's
Oh
Enemy,
man.
and our
Sorry.
nominees for 2010. Let's see how this plays out. We have Rebirth, Meet Me in the Sky, So Hard to Let Go, and anything else you want to throw in from the World's Enemy album or the other version of the album, the fixed tape
Re-release,
part
yeah.
3, the special delivery, or the Unit 5 prequel. Throughout that whole collection, I would have to say, I mean, it's a toss up between. I think people look back on Meet Me in the Sky more fondly, but I think Rebirth had a bigger impact at the time. But I'm gonna go with Meet Me in the Sky for long time's sake, simply for the piano part of the beginning.
Okay.
So
So
Ty, you go, yeah.
so I was very excited for this album, by the way. I had a lot of hopes for it. And they did a lot of promo for this album compared to what they had been doing for all the Bone Brothers and all the stuff that we had been missing through all the 2000s. And I loved Rebirth. I thought it was a really solid single. The verses had messages in all of them. I mean, it was dope. I mean, the title track is fucking Rebirth. The name of the track is Rebirth. I thought it was awesome. However, I was very pissed that the fucking group broke up before the album came out. In the middle of the Unify tour, there's a reunion tour for a reunion album, and the group, or Busy, leaves the group before the album drops, whatever. Side note, my favorite track on this is actually Only God Can Judge Me. Love that song. That's my favorite track on this song. But I think Rebirth is hard to beat out. Meet Me in the Sky is a really good song, but Rebirth is just brings it's like the theme of the album, and it's the theme of what we lost for almost a decade, in as far as all of them coming together to make a full album. And I felt like that was Warner Brothers, wasn't it? I believe it was Warner Brothers. It just felt like a real album. It didn't feel like a, you know,
Yeah.
it just felt real. It didn't feel like some independent, some cheesy thing that got tossed together with pieces of verses that other members weren't around for, and they threw it together. I mean, it felt legit. I thought it was a really solid track. I think it was very important, and it got a lot of play. The video was awesome. Busy Bones killed it. Definitely Rebirth for me. And second to that, I love Only God Can Judge Me. That's my runner-up.
And Determination, I mean, I guess that didn't really have the impact, but that was a cool, like, after the fact kind of track. But we can see how the jury's going to go with Cecil. You're the hang vote here. You're the decider.
Yeah.
What's it going to be 2010?
Well, first of all, just gonna put it out there that I hate the Unified album. So
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I just want to say that, and I'm sorry if that hurts any fans' feelings, but I just I don't love the song Rebirth. I don't love See Me Shine. I don't love fucking Meet Me in the Sky.
No.
I don't love a lot of these songs, and I know a lot of Bone fans do. Earlier, I said something about Meet Me in the Sky and See Me Shine being really long songs. I guess Meet Me in the Sky wasn't the long one. Rebirth and See Me Shine were the fucking long ones. And I'm just going to get it out of the way so we can get it the fuck out of the way. Rebirth is my pick because I think that is the resurrection-esque song that they were aiming for at this time, and I do think they got it. I think the video, even though it's not my thing, like they were, the whole thing, they were kind of looking for that Terminator future-esque feeling with the name and the intros, all that shit. So Rebirth gets my pick. Rebirth would have been the best time to practice that old Bone shit of not having a chorus between every fucking verse.
Yeah.
This would have been a great time to practice some old Bone shit. Like, this is where they lost me on it. Was it 7 fucking minutes long? And I know that they fixed it for the video. I don't give a fuck. It's crazy. It's crazy. Fuck that. I'm also just gonna say that this was the chance to bring back the Eazy-E slowed down Ouija intros. This was the best time for that. If there was ever a time to bring that back, it was this album. They let me down on that too. Meet Me in the Sky, one of the just like weirdest. eye fucking videos of all time. Super awkward for me. It's like Bone in like the suits, and there's weird dust, snow coming out of the sky, and they're all fucking together singing right at my face. And it's just like that Mona Lisa thing where you can't escape it anywhere in the room. Like Lazy Bones just eye fucking me. I hate it. I feel uncomfortable the whole time. I don't watch the video. I don't know how many plays it's got on YouTube. None of them are mine. But if I gotta pick one from this, none of them are mine. Zero. None.
Holy shit.
Rebirth is my pick. Just you know, it makes sense there. It's so funny you brought up Determination, because technically out of all the songs that you got up there, Determination is my favorite one of all. I love the video. I love the song. But you know, I gotta give it the Rebirth. I also just want to say that on Unified, if I gotta pick, you know, any song, it's number 14. It's a good thing that I didn't tie wise this fucking thing and throw this motherfucker out the window before I got to number 14, because finally on 14, like a bunch of these songs have grown on me now, but like on the first listen, I can honestly tell you that was the only one that I was like, this is what I wanted for fucking 13 of the last songs. This is what I wanted. A lot of them have grown on me now, and I do like Only God Can Judge Me and shit, but Facts Don't Lie was the only one that like I was like, oh shit. Shout out to Facts Don't Lie, by the way. That's the name of Ty Wise's fucking segment here on Beyond the Harmony. So but yeah, Rebirth for me as well. But I love Determination.
I want to throw a bone tip out there. I don't use drugs or alcohol, but on Fridays I consume 5-hour energy so that I don't fall asleep in my car rides to Orlando. It's a 2-hour ride, and I gotta go at like 5 a.m. So I drink some 5-hour energy, and the absolute best song I've ever had when I'm fully geeked up on that 5-hour peaking is Rebirth. Like you might hear Rebirth, however you listen to it on some caffeine. At full peak, it'll blow your mind. Like you won't even know what to do with yourself. You're like, I can't believe how good this song sounds. But make sure you're going like 90 miles an hour though. So at 90 miles an hour, full caffeine, I highly recommend. But be safe, obviously. But I recommend Rebirth. If there weren't so many, so many choruses on Rebirth, that might even rank really high in my favorite Bone songs of all time. Because like Ty said, the verses are solid on it. I love that song, but just those choruses kill me. But on caffeine, you'll love those choruses.
I also liked Rebirth better, the original version that had
the
Lazy.
original version.
I think Lazy doing the hook, and I think Thin C maybe did the beat or helped with the beat. I don't know. But I didn't understand the moves, and I like Thin C, but I just didn't understand the move. Putting him on the hook, I thought it made sense, you know, that the hook and what they're rapping, it made sense for a Bone member to rap that. And you know, I know sometimes they'll replace a Bone member with a singer and it makes more sense for them, although usually for me it really doesn't. But I'm like, I see what they were doing, but that move just didn't make that whole song could have been reworked differently and probably been better. Really goes to show you that the it's all left to the person on the boards at the end that is making that final cut. But either way, we're all going with fucking Rebirth, and I'm all right with that.
And I'll just say too, I think my pick of DOA on 2009 subconsciously was so that it doesn't seem strange when we see Me Shine followed by Rebirth as best songs by year, because I think the uninitiated might think, what, those are both from one album. But Me Shine originally came out on that prequel, not the prequel, but the mixtape special delivery or whatever. Anyway,
that should have been out.
Let's roll on to 2011. So this is the post Thug World, the World's Enemy era, post Unified era. So now we're getting into a whole new type of waters.
It's the beginning of the end.
Starting off, your nominees are Explosive by Crazy Bone, Heartaches by Flesh and Bone, Warriors by AC Killer, Busy Bone, and Crazy Bone, or Vanilla Lights by Crazy Bone. So we'll start. I'm not going to even give. Well, actually, my pick is Explosive. That song is anthematic. It's like an anthem. It's a Crazy Bone anthem. I think the people that heard it, I think the Bone fans were thrilled for it. It really pumped that Crazy Bone album. I feel like that was even a bigger deal than Heartaches. I know Cecil's probably going to disagree, but I'm going with Explosive. And I'm going to let Cecil follow that one up. What do you got, Cecil, for 20?
You know, This is tough
Come on.
because I can I can appreciate Explosive. Explosives in as far as impact wise, I guess you got to give it to Explosive. Heartache is my favorite song. I don't know what the fuck it is. I like Heartache more than any of the songs you listed. I don't know what it is about that song. I don't even like Dick Ride fucking Flesh and Bone songs like that. But I really love that song, both versions of it. But yeah, I don't have a lot to say about 2011. Explosive is definitely the one. Explosive premiered on DJ Vlad, which I don't think people acknowledge that enough. But Explosive, they worked the deal and had that premiered through DJ Vlad's channel, and that brought a lot of extra plays to it. Explosive is over 1 million plays. It's actually almost 1.5 million plays on that. So it's like, come on, this is you can't debate this. So Explosive all day.
You got Ty.
Yeah, this is shallow territory. Crazy Bone again, literally single-handedly carrying the group's name once again, and Explosive is easy for me. He killed it. That was a beautiful song. Crazy Bone he did a lot. Sometimes I think back and what if Crazy Bone wasn't putting out all of these tracks during this time? No one else did anything of note.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What if there was no fixed tapes? And
Right.
that meant, where would they be? How many fans, casual fans, would Bone have lost if there was no fixed tapes and Crazy Bone wasn't on the grind and still had the passion to put out all these features and things of that nature? So Explosive was awesome, especially after the huge letdown that Uni 5 was. And I mean, I was pissed about Uni 5. I was very frustrated about that album. And to hear Explosive get followed up, I thought that was great. And I was like, okay, there's still hope. Crazy Bone can do it on his own. If they can't do it all fucking together, Crazy Bone will do it by himself. That's how I felt about Explosive.
And it's funny Ty says that, because you remember, Cecil, I've always been like, what the deal? What's with these mixtape, fixtape, like not just with Bone, but just mixtapes. I always felt it was weird, and you're like, nah, that's the way people keep their people listening to them. And I was like, why not just release an album? Why you got to call it a mixtape? But now in retrospect, looking back on these fixtapes, as Ty just pointed out, thank God Crazy did that.
Thank God.
Because that kept everything moving. I mean, not taking away from all those solo albums that Lazy and Busy put out, but I feel like the fixtapes felt a little bit more, I don't know, they were like the most official mixtapes ever that I've ever seen.
They were.
So,
They're album-esque, and I think so. I used to be really, really, really big into mixtapes, and I listened to, like I said, Jadakiss, Styles P, Diplomats. 50 Cent really made his entire career off a mixtape. Who Shot Ya? That track basically, made 50 Cent go in and dissing everybody. But anyways, so I felt like Bone during this time was like, or Crazy Bone at least, was like, why not? I have tons of songs. Let me just use some of these verses that I've had forever and ever. He uses a popular beat, which is coming up. One of my favorite Crazy Bone song of all time off of Fixtapes coming up next. But you use a popular beat of note and you twist it up your own way, and you don't have to pay copyrights and things of that nature, and it gets out there and keeps you relevant. So I'm glad he did it. Thank God he kept the name going by putting these Fixtapes out.
so you got anything else for 2011?
Nah,
you want to make a comment on Warriors by AC Killer, Busy and Crazy?
I can just say I always think that it's impressive that AC Killer can pull Bone together the way they do. He's got a for a guy that is like connected to Bone but isn't like on one of their labels or anything, that guy always does a really nice job pulling Bone together. Lots of videos with him and shit. So shout out to
Two
AC
full
Killer.
albums.
Yeah,
two full albums with
right.
Busy.
You got to give that guy his props. So shout out to AC Killer for Warriors, a video with them at that time too, Crazy and Busy. I mean, this is post Unified, so but
right, kind of a prequel to the Bone Thugs New Waves. Maybe AC Killer may have been the architect behind it.
Oh, poor AP Killer.
And real quick, I've seen a lot of people give a lot of. I loved Vanilla Lights at the time. I've seen recently a lot of people giving a lot of praise to Vanilla Lights, and that was a great song in my opinion. I played it a lot at the time period as well. So just giving an honorable mention to Vanilla Lights. But you guys ready to wrap 2011? Get on to 2012. Any final
Move it.
2011 comments?
Nope.
All right. All right, here we go. 2012, the Mayan calendar year. Busy Bone talking about it. So we got Cashing Out by Crazy Bone, Welcome to Real Life by Crazy Bone and a bunch of other people, 24/7 The Grinder by Crazy Bone, and those are your three nominees. So I know a lot of people probably going to say 24/7 The Grinder. I feel like that one is considered the hit, but I think Cashing Out is in jam. But I will understand if you guys go with 24/7 The Grinder, but I'm going with Cashing Out. And I'll say that I think Crazy Bone's best verse of all time is on Welcome to Real Life. So, Ty, you go ahead and start us off with your rebuttal.
So I can see your point of view on that. My favorite mixtape song of all time is 24/7 The Grinder. The beat, that's Kelly Rowland, if I'm not mistaken. It's Kelly Rowland's song that he redid. And she's popular. And I love that beat. The beat is amazing. Even with at the end of the song, when it rides out and it's just, he's just letting the song play and he's kind of just doing a little melody to it. It sounds amazing. But Cashing Out is a much more upbeat song, and it's a very popular track too. It had a lot of radio play, much more than Kelly Rowland's song did, the actual original version of the song. So I can see your point of view on that, for that being the most important. But man, I don't know how many casual Bone fans have even heard these songs. If you're not a pretty diehard Bone fan, you might not even know 2012 fucking existed. Because these are not exactly in your face records by any stretch of the imagination. So for me, I'll just toss in my favorite as being the most important, 24/7 The Grinder. But it really could be a toss up because these tracks are very they're not very, I don't want to say popular, but they don't have a big reach. These weren't official releases out anywhere because it's obviously someone else's songs. So it's really a tough one, but I'll say 24/7.
Well, let me throw My Life in there too, because there was a music video for My Life with the Masterminds, and that was the first time we saw.
Okay.
I think we saw Crazy Bone with he cut his hair, I think, and that was like the first time we saw that happen. But I mean, I don't know how much of a reach My Life had. I think 24/7 The Grinder was even kind of went outside of the Bone fan base a little bit. So like I could go with 24/7. I guess we'll go to Cecil. Cecil,
Yeah,
what do you
let's see.
think?
So Cashing Out, that was kind of that song was kind of doing its thing. Cash Out is the artist that made the original version of that song, Cashing Out. I think it's the only song that the guy has. Crazy Bone whips that motherfucking ass. If you listen to the Cash Out version and then Crazy Bones, he whoops that motherfucking ass. I wouldn't even want to do my song anymore after Crazy Bone remixed it. Wow. So, but that song was doing its thing at the time. 24/7 The Grinder, yeah, I do believe that's the Kelly Rowland. So, this is a toss up of what mixtape song is better.
Well, basically, what do we want to represent 2012 as the most important? And also My Perfect was also, I guess, a fan favorite. It was over the Linkin Park, not Linkin Park, but the group Shinoda made. It was over that beat. That came out, and I think he did one with Alicia Keys, like some kind of remake with her, or maybe that was, I think that was that album, that era. Remember that Smile?
This time in Bone, I mean, was just Crazy Bone popping out videos that looked like, they were basically just filming them wherever. But these are both pretty good videos. They're not great videos, but for just like we shot them ourselves type videos, I think they're both great videos. I see points on both. My personal favorite here is the Cashing Out remix because I just dude, he kills it. But I really see the points for both. I think a lot of Bone fans are gonna go with 24/7 The Grinder. Funny enough, I think Cashing Out actually has more plays and shit. But a lot of Bone fans do really love 24/7 The Grinder. Neither one of them, like Ty said, are really impactful or anything. I'm going with Cashing Out just because I like the song better. But they are coin flip at this time.
I'm going to concede it to 24/7, and here's why. I've never seen anybody list Cashing Out as one of their favorite Bone songs outside of me and you, Cecil, or favorite Crazy Bone songs, but I have seen, surprisingly, 24/7 The Grinder listed in a lot of people's like top 5 Crazy Bone songs, and like for that to be brought up, and I even feel like Crazy Bone probably likes 24/7 The Grinder more than Cashing Out, even though I agree with you, Cashing Out is my jam. But as far as like what I've seen on people's top 5 lists, like just to see 24/7 make it, I'm like, wow, really? There's so many other crazy songs I'd have there first. So I think
I'm with that.
We're gonna go with your pick there, Ty. 24/7 The Grinder.
Yeah.
But we're gonna pose this one to the audience. What do you guys? What is your 2012 best track? Because we had a hard time picking there.
God,
all right. Anything else for 2012? Are you guys good to let 2012 rest in peace?
Let that rest.
And how did we miss Crossroads? Like Crossroads 2010. How did I miss that album in this list? I guess that came out in 2010, right? Anything Crossroads 2010 better than Rebirth?
I mean,
impact-wise,
Crossroads.
I'm sorry, not better, more important.
Not, I guess, not impact-wise, because there was no like videos or anything, right?
Right, exactly.
There's nothing.
Okay. Too bad.
We'll stick with Rebirth.
That album's good as fuck, but nah, I think we.
Yeah, we just had to give it a shout out because people are probably saying, "Yo, where's your Busy Bones?"
Not bigger than Rebirth. Not bigger than Rebirth.
Got it. All right, 2013. We're almost to the end here. 2013. Your nominees for 2013 are Everything 100, Lord with ASAP, Celebration with The Game, the 20th anniversary Cypher, and those are your 4 picks. I'm going for the most important. I'm picking Everything 100. As much as the whole fan base hates it, I love Everything 100, but I'm not picking it because I like it. I'm picking it because it's got like 4 million views, and I think that was another one of those kickstart moments for Bone, was when they made that video. So I'm gonna pass it to Ty Wise first. I want to hear what your pick for 2013 is.
I can see your point of view on Everything 100, but man, I really don't think that track was that great or that impactful when we're talking impact wise, keeping Bone's name alive or sustaining it or bringing it back into the limelight. But
did it coin the phrase though? I mean, did that start people saying, "Yo, keep it 100"?
No, that was them riding that shit.
No?
Yeah, okay. that I think that had been around already.
Yeah,
at least
for sure.
At least in my opinion, it had been. But I think the celebration had radio reach. It was big. The chorus was their actual hook. That was their deal. So you want to talk about coin phrases? The celebrations chorus was Bone's coin phrase. So I like that a lot about the celebration. The Game, household name, very popular. Helped that get a little bit more popular. I think the best song out of all of these is Lord. I love Lord with ASAP, but I just don't know what the reach was with Lord. I don't know about the impact of that song as well. But I would definitely say Lord is the best song. But impact, I have to go with the celebration.
Cecil West.
This is tough. This is tough. Yeah, this is tough. And I want to say that neither one of you really talked about the impact of the Cypher, which I also think like it's tough because I guess you can't really count it as a song, but it kind of is.
It was just hard to hear it.
The Cypher was like impactful to the Bone world.
Yes.
We were very excited as Bone fans. It was weird too. It wasn't like ciphers. When I thought Cypher, I thought we were gonna see like the BT style Cypher with Bone. So it was the switch up to just like them rapping. Yeah, this one is tough. I don't like Everything 100. Everything 100 makes me want to jump off 100
Yeah.
stories onto my face. Um, that Wishbone verse, man. I mean, I'd like to say that the Wishbone verse is what kills it for me, but it's not. Um, I agree with it a lot that Ty said about Celebration. Celebration, the original one didn't have Bone in it, and I think like Bone fans actually like probably harassed the game into doing the remix because the original one's got like Chris Brown and Wiz Khalifa and Lil Wayne and shit on it, and Bone fans kind of went crazy as soon as it dropped and they heard that sample and it was first of the month. Like Bone fans fucking, just tweeting this guy. So Celebration, I'll just point out that it's the remix of a song that did over 46 million fucking views. Did the original game Celebration with Lil Wayne and all them did 46 million views. So the remix did 2.1, but a remix usually doesn't, do it like that, I guess, unless you're the Crossroads remix. So it did really well. So even though, John had pointed out that Everything 100 is up over 3.5 million YouTube views, which is I don't fucking even understand. I don't get it. But yeah, the game Celebration remix. I mean that was a big song, not necessarily because of the Bone remix, but the original version of that song was fucking huge. So I throw that into the equation. Looking at it, I also agree that like Lord, bro, what a
Oh my God,
so
dude.
good, so good. But like unfortunately, it didn't have.
Nuh-uh.
I think Bone impact. If we're talking just the impact for Bone, you got to rank that high. That's really good. But when we're talking the overall impact, this is tough. Like I'm leaning towards Everything 100, but everything about me is like go away from that. The celebration.
Well, think about this.
Everything
Everything
100 also
100,
has Ty
just
Dolla Sign on it, which doesn't mean shit to me, but at that time, that meant a little something. They came out the gate. Uh, I gotta pick Everything 100, even though I hate it.
it's the right pick, even though like Celebration, most people know the Celebration main version, not the remix. I think Celebration is a better song. I mean, they get the rap real verses and whatnot, but Everything 100 set the stage for new waves anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Whatever. I don't want to keep talking about it. I'm with it. Everything 100, whatever.
Yeah.
Pose that one to the audience as well. Do you guys go with Celebration or Everything 100? And this is for most important, not your favorite.
Like out of the
All
four
right.
things we listed, I just want you to know that everything about me wants to list Everything 100 is the number 4 of those 4. I'm like, I like all the other songs better than Everything 100.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Well, we're gonna move on to 2014, and
Ugh.
by the way, I'm not trying to like even grandstand on Everything 100, but I feel like that's the right. I think that's the industry pick. I think that's the. I don't
Yeah, I
think that's
get
the
it.
fan pick. I think it's what the record label puts out there in the end.
Yeah, I get it.
All right, moving on to 2014. Our nominees are Headhunters by Crazy Bone, I Hustle by Lazy Bone. I think that's Lazy's first single on there, and Stay Trill by Trey the Truth and Crazy Bone. I'm gonna go with, and this is from a Bone perspective. I feel like Headhunters got the most love from Bone, but I think Stay Trill was the dopest. I Hustle was my favorite Lazy single of all time. But I just feel like Crazy Bone went on site to, I think it was El Salvador to film the video. So like it has that international appeal, gained a lot of Central South American fans. I think Headhunters, man, but Stay Trill is the dope, is the bomb. I just don't know the impact Stay Trill had, whereas I think Headhunters defined 2014. When I think of 2014, I think of Headhunters, believe it or not. But I'm gonna let you guys be the final word on that. So I'm gonna start with Ty Wise.
I'll be honest. When I think of 2014, the last thing I think about is Bone. There's not really much. I don't go back in my collection and think, oh, let me get that 2014 hit list out. There's not really much, but I love Trey the Truth. I mean, Trey's dope. I mean, but that song had very little reach to me. Headhunters, Leaps and Bounds, a better song to me, and definitely have more reach. Crazy Bone, once again, still carrying us through this wasteland of the late 2000s. On his own, and so I definitely would go with Headhunters. Great track.
Cecil West, what do you got?
I liked I Hustle the best. No, I take that back. I like Stay Trill the best out of these three. Out of the Crazy, Headhunters, and I Hustle, I liked I Hustle the best. But the Crazy Bone, Headhunters definitely was the excitement for that time. I can remember it being I can remember them dropping it, and just people being excited to see Crazy Bone. The video's cool. This is at like the time where I felt like Bone had a bunch of homies that were like, yo, I got a camera. So
Yeah.
like budgets were not like the way that I want for Bone fucking videos. So it's like all these videos are just whatever to me. I think they're whatever to the fans too. I mean, we're none of these get a lot of plays. This is kind of like a whatever throughout year. I'll go with Headhunters just to wrap it up. It's whatever. Stay Trail though, that song is the bump. Let me
State
just
Trail should have been a hit. It should have been a hit. Yeah, what's the view count on State Trail, by the way?
Bro, State Trail has got to be the one. It's got 1.4
1.4
million
million.
fucking views, bro. I changed my whole shit based off the fucking view count alone. That song is better than both of those ones, and to see that it's like actually like a Trey the Truth hit, I'm going with State Trail. Get the fuck out of here. 1.4 million fucking views. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, Cray didn't even hit a 500,000. All right, good. I
Fuck
feel good
that.
about. I mean,
Good. So do I.
yeah, that trade jam is the jam. All right,
Good.
State Trail. And if anybody hasn't listened to State Trail in a vehicle that
Oh.
has killer speakers, the bass, and this is coming from somebody that grew up on Miami bass. The bass on State Trail is some new shit that I never heard. It blows my mind. Even after like 100 listens, I'm still like blown away at how they did it. That song
I'm
is
so
the
glad
jam.
we looked up those views because I like Still Trill so much more than either one of those. But the whole time I was like, oh, like that probably didn't do shit. I'm so glad to see that it did so good because the song is so good. So that
Platinum.
yeah, Stay Trail, man. Stay Trail. That's fucking
1
good.
million views. All right, excellent. 2015. It was the year we were all waiting 7 years for. It marked the release of Chasing the Devil. So
Yeah.
our selections are Cloudy, Like Fire, Scraping the Sky with Yak Boy Fresh, Chasing Grammys with somebody else, and insert your favorite track from Chasing the Devil as your fifth option. So I would say, I guess Cloudy. Actually, you know what? What was the A Wise Fool didn't release till 2016 as a single, so we're not going to count that one with Kane. I think Cloudy was the big single at the time for 2015 to promote, because remember, Jason the Devil came out near the end of the year, so I'm gonna go with Cloudy. Not that it's I don't even listen to that song on the album. I don't really like it, but as far as impact, I think Cloudy had the biggest impact at the time period for 2015. And if you guys got something else for 2015, feel free to add that in there. We'll start with Cecil West.
I picked Cloudy. Let's keep it moving.
Ty Wise.
I'm good with Cloudy, man. Chasing the Devil, 7 years, I was not.
Is there something else?
happy.
Did another record or something come out in 2015?
I don't see anything else.
If anybody's got anything else that could have been bigger, please, for the love of God, put it in there. I know that like Bone fans. I'm gonna tell you guys a real thing.
The Land.
Did The Land come out in 2015?
That was the jam, bro. Yeah, bro. How did I forget that one? That's one of my favorites. Yeah, The Land.
The Land was dope. Oh,
But what impact did it have though? Like, did people know about it? Because I tell Bone fans about it. Like, what's the land?
yeah, Bone fans were excited for Cloudy, and I mean, I don't know if it lived up to. I don't know if Crazy Bones album and that single lived up to what Bone fans wanted, but I do remember the excitement for Chasing the Devil. I do remember like when the Cloudy artwork got dropped on the Instagram. I remember the excitement. So I'm gonna go with Cloudy. Although I will say, like, if you bring the land into it, the land fucking bumps.
Yeah, the Lion is dope. Now, when Chasing the Devil came out, wasn't Crazy Bone also talking about retiring? When was he talking about saying this
Yeah,
was going to be his last thing? That really
all,
pissed me the fuck
all
off.
the time.
Yeah, he was talking about retiring after this album. I was like, after I heard that, I was like, man, you might want to stick around a little longer. We need to end on the W. You need to end with
Yeah,
the trophy, not with that.
I'm out.
Yeah,
Cloudy.
Cloudy. I mean, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did More Than Thugs drop in 2015? What year did More Than Thugs come out? Or is
If
that
you
on our next? No, More Than Thugs is, I guess, a 2017 kind of thing. I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Mhm.
yeah. That's a 2017.
2017. I was like,
Huh?
John, if you missed that one, that's the fucking one, guy.
So Cloudy
Uh,
dominated 2015, unless you guys got a better one. And man,
nope,
somebody out there, help us.
nope.
Moving on to 2016. Our nominees are Wrapped Up by Busy Bone featuring Jake Has, or the other way around. Busy Bone, All I'll Ever Know with Excel Beats. Busy Bone, Crazy Bone, and AC Killer on Warriors Part 2. And Crazy Bone and Kane for A Wise Fool. Starting
Ooh.
with Cecil West. Actually, I
Oh,
didn't give my pick. My pick,
Yeah.
shit, the most important that year. I mean, I guess Wrapped Up started a freaking reality TV show, right? But all I'll ever know is the freaking song that brought Busy Bone back to making me believe in Busy Bone again and made me fall in love with Excel Beats. I got such a man crush on Excel Beats, but I think as time now, you know what? All I'll ever know got me to California. Man, I'm gonna pick All I'll Ever Know, and I want to see what you guys pick. Starting with Ty Wise.
Um, this is another tough year. I don't really think much about this year at all. However, I have a good story background that's gonna go to my choice. 2016, not a Bone Thugs and Harmony year for me, but saw Busy Bone live. And you know what he opened to? All I Ever Know.
Oh no
Never
shit.
heard the song in my fucking life. Not gonna lie. Never heard it. And when he came out and he was like, this is a fucking new Busy Bone track, huh? And this is a small venue. And I love it. I thought it was an amazing song. And it just flows and flows and flows. Very hard to understand live. But when I heard it and I came back home and I listened to it again, it's on my playlist. I listen to it pretty often now. So I would definitely say that's my I would say that's my favorite song of that year. But impact wise, man, there's not a whole lot impact wise. I think it could go either way. So I'm gonna go with All I Ever Know. See, so what do you think?
All I Never Know. None of these songs had an impact, so we can just take this
None.
out.
Yeah.
This is like one of those years where you can go, there was no real impact here. I don't even know what the Wrapped Up song is, so maybe I'm talking on my ass right now. But because I don't fucking know, All I Ever Know is a fucking great song. If you guys, if you haven't heard this song and you love that real, just like thuggish, Busy Bone, just like
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
dude, the guy just goes. So
Kills it.
because I don't feel like any of these really have like a impact, it then brings it to where's the most Bone impact, and I'm gonna say it's All I Ever Know, because that song is like, that is what you want to hear out of Busy Bone. So I think my pick right now is going away from how I've picked all the other songs up until now, but I just think for this year that's what you got to do. And All I Ever Know, I can't co-sign it enough. I think I found that song and like immediately like pushed it on John, like, bro, have you heard this fucking thing?
Bro, and by you doing that, you literally changed my life, because through that is where I discovered Excel Beats, and through that is I ended up putting into that video, which got me out to California to do the Busy Misery video with Brother Clay and Easy E's Grave and all that. So like, had you not just sent that to me, none of that would have happened. So like that 5-minute thing just for you to copy and paste that link completely altered the rest of my, and actually that's why we're here right now. Beyond the Harmony probably wouldn't be right now if you didn't send me All I'll Ever Know. Like dead serious. Like this isn't even me stretching it for sure. All I'll Ever Know. And also Excel told me that that it's been certified as 1 million plays through streaming mediums.
Oh
So
yeah, there you go.
it's in
There you
theory
go.
a platinum single, but just because you may not
Well,
be aware, Wrapped Up is Busy Bone and his wife Jay Kaz, and through that Jam TV came out and it kind of solidified that this is Busy Bone's wife. I don't know if they were like a married couple yet, but I think that video had an impact because a reality TV show came out of it. But All I'll Ever Know is platinum, and at least for me, altered my life. So, and I think, and it made me believe in Busy Bone again. Up until that
I'm
song, I was just like, ah,
I'm
man, Busy, what happened? You once
skimming
were the
this.
greatest.
I'm skimming this Wrapped Up shit right now, and I just
Yeah,
can't.
it's like a softcore porn, man.
Yeah, I can't do this. I can't. you know, yeah, I will say, you may be right as far as, it's the wife. You may be right in the long term. This probably, you know, is the more important of the two, especially considering what we know about the GMTV and stuff. But because that song really ain't shit, none of these songs really ain't shit. You got to go with the best one as far as impact of them not being shit, which is All I Ever Know. And you saying it got over 1 million streams, I mean, that's huge. So All I Ever Know, it's a great song. Excel Beats, man, he helped with that, bring back that bone feel. And I love Ty Wise' story as well. So
Yeah, that was
2016,
great.
All I
I,
Ever
I
Know.
I love these random small bone venues you go to. That's incredible.
dude, I always follow it. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised what you hear live. I would have never thought he'd play that shit live, and he hasn't played it since. So, but it's a great song. I love it.
Yeah, and I'll throw this too. Back when All I'll Ever Know came out, this is when web reactions first began. Like I know a lot of people are doing web reactions now, but there was a guy that was like the one guy that started this whole thing, and he did All I'll Ever Know. And the way he
Wow.
experienced the song and his response, like that was he was so everything he said was so right on. So if you never seen the song reaction video for All I'll Ever Know, I forgot the guy's name, but everything he said was so right on. Like he understands music of what goes together, and his explanation of it was great. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, somebody else out there knows how good this song is. And same with Brother Clay. Like when he saw that I knew how good musically that was, I think that's what had him realize like, hey, I got to bring this guy out here for this video. But anyway, let's move on to 2017. We're all in agreement for All I'll Ever Know. J Kaz is a good runner-up. But anyway, 2017, here we are, new waves. This was the moment everybody was waiting for. Anticlimactic. Our nominees are Coming Home, and I guess it's whatever version you want it to be, whether the Demiza version or the Marley version.
Can't
If
be.
heaven had a, oh yeah, I see what you're saying. If heaven had a cell phone, More Than Thugs, Make You Want to Get High by Crazy Bone, Apparently by Crazy Bone and Young Noble, or Misery by Busy Bone and everybody else. So I think this is kind of like the 2007 year. I would say Coming Home was the biggest impact of the year. And I know Cecil's going to make his argument for More Than Thugs, but I'm going to be real. I'm going to say Coming Home was the most important Bone song for 2017. And we'll let Cecil go second.
I'm gonna agree with Coming Home, the Bob Marley version. It can't be the Demiza one. I think that was a different year for starters. But they'll also the Coming Home Marley version. It is the big single there. It is the big single. It's the most impact. It's the first single off of the New Waves. I could make an argument for More Than Thugs. I want to make an argument for More Than Thugs. More Than Thugs is the best song on the list that you just gave us.
Definitely.
Without question, the best song there. just like I was just saying, Excel Beats did with Busy Bone, and he brought back that Busy Bone feel that I want to have. DeMizza did the same thing with Bone. He brought that Bone Thugs. He brought me all the way back to like Days of Our
96.
Lives.
Yeah.
You know, that was on that Days of Our Lives. So everything, and as a Bone fan, just on the Bone level, More Than Thugs is probably more impactful. But in the grand scheme, because we have to factor in outside of the Bone world, and sometimes you can't, you know, sometimes a couple of these years we saw there was no impact outside of the Bone world. But, you know, fortunate for Bone, I guess, unfortunate for our discussion, Coming Home had impact outside, and, you know, I think it's sitting at like 4 million views right now on YouTube as well. It features a Marley, legendary. I must give it to Coming Home. Biggest impact of 2017. I'm surprised you didn't have Bottle Service on here, John.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, I would have, but the view count for Bottle Service was so
low,
that
right?
I was
So
like, I
bad.
can't even pretend on it. I wanted to
Yeah.
put it there. It's my favorite track on there. And well, I want to hear Ty Wise, and then I got some questions for you guys also, just to kind of stir the pot on this year. But Ty, what's your pick for 2017? Bottle Service?
Yeah, right. Bottle Service makes me want to puke. Definitely Coming Home. It's not my favorite track on the album. I think everybody would agree My Way is probably the best song on that album. It's the only real Bone song. But Coming Home is definitely dope, and it makes me think back to Thug Mentality 1999 with Revolution with Crazy Bone. Having Marley on the track, it's just awesome. So it's a pretty solid song. It got pretty popular. It got some slight radio play. You know, it made its waves. Unfortunately, the record didn't do what it was supposed to, but I would definitely agree with Coming Home. Although I do
Wow.
like More Than Thugs more, but I agree with him.
Do you like the Ruthless track, Ty Wise?
Yeah, Ruthless is pretty dope. That's a good song.
That might be my favorite new wave song. It's
My-
fucking hilarious that me and John like Bottle Service. I don't even like the DeMizza
Oh
version
my
like that.
God.
Me and John like Bottle Service so fucking much. I understand your reasons for not liking it though. Like if I gotta just be a Bone fan about it, I'm like, this is so not a Bone song. But like, bro, I've partied hard to this song, and there, I am not gonna to incriminate myself, but I'm just gonna say
Maybe that's why, because you're
once
partying,
you're
man.
at
Let's
the
do that sober.
once you're I do all the time. Once you're at the level that I was at listening to Bottle Service, there's nothing better. Those guys crushed it. But it shouldn't have been a Bone Thug song. They should have called the group New Waves. They should have kept that as far away from Bone as possible.
Yeah.
I know how high I can go. So then this brings up a question now, Ty. You realize that My Way was only on the digital version, and on the compact disc it was a completely other song?
I did not know that, but I don't know why. But I don't think most people will ever catch that, because I don't think it sold more than 20 copies, in my opinion.
Now, if there was a music video for Ruthless or Whatever Goes Up, do you think either of those could have matched Coming Home, or even if Heaven Had a Cell Phone? Do you think either of those would have crossed 1 million views?
I think Ruthless would have had any of them, but Ruthless is kind of cheating though, because it's got has other members on it as a feature, you know. So now it's not really the new waves; it's more of a Bone song. But I think Ruthless had the potential to do it.
Oh yeah, Waves had all the members too, right? So
yeah, and that was a solid track. Waves,
I don't like that song.
Track. But you know, now we're stepping out. You know,
yeah, Coming Home for sure. Yeah, Coming Home.
Ruthless didn't have Wish on it.
Yeah, which is fine by me.
Fine by me.
You know, yeah. So
yeah, but no, coming home. I think that's, you know, let's not get off topic. Coming Home definitely is the one. But more than Thugs, like if More Than Thugs would have been on New Waves and it got the push, like, you know, the push behind Coming Home was probably like for Coming Home, or excuse me, for New Waves, what the fuck am I saying? For More Than Thugs to only have, you know, half the views that Coming Home does, that tells you what that song was, because Coming Home kind of had like the machine behind it. More Than Thugs was just like an independent DeMizza release, basically.
Yeah.
And it's got half the fucking views. So that tells you what you need to know about that song. If it had the machine behind it, More Than Thugs, I think, would be whooping the shit out of Coming Home. I mean, if the fucking video was filmed in a bus before a show, you know, like there's like, you know, so it's like that. If that song would have had the same push, I think it'd be bigger. But we'll go with Coming Home.
Okay, perfect. Now we've brought you into the future. Actually, 2018 is not the future anymore. It's the past, believe it or not. So your nominees for 2018 are Reach for the Stars with Wiz Khalifa, In the Way with 3-6 Mafia, whatever they go by nowadays. I don't know what their name is, but there's a song called In the Way with members of 3-6. We got Crazy with Mimi. We got YNTG with Blaze and Busybone, and Chasing Nightmares, the single from Chasing the Devil, which dropped like 3 years later, and Let Me Go Migo with Lazy Bone. So I'm good. I mean, Let Me Go Migo was number 1 on SoundCloud, but Reach for the Stars, I think, generated a lot of buzz. Wiz Khalifa, Star Power. I think YNTG was a pretty cool moment, but I'm gonna have to go with Reach for the Stars for the star power of Wiz Khalifa, the whole group, the buzz that it made. I'm going with Reach for the Stars. We'll start with Cecil.
Yeah, I think you got a good point with Reach for the Stars. Wiz Khalifa, you know, Reach for the Stars. Okay, Let Me Go Migo. Let Me Go Migo, number 1 on SoundCloud, and there's something big, no matter what the circumstances are. First, you need to acknowledge that SoundCloud, for better or for worse, is like an audio leader online. They were not, but you know, with acts like Lil Pump and Tekashi 6ix9ine finding stardom from SoundCloud, you got to acknowledge what a big platform they are. So first, you got to set that out there, that they are a massive platform. He didn't go number 1 on some bullshit platform. This is a huge platform that has made the superstars that we know today. And he was number 1 with that song. So I'm just going to say that we immediately need to move it. If Reach for the Stars is like the front runner, you got to move Let Me Go Migo right there to compare that. The rest of them, well, I think YNTG might be my favorite, actually, of all these. I think YNTG is great. I thought the song with the Mafia 6 was also great. But it's got to come down to Reach for the Stars and Let Me Go Migo. I don't love Let Me Go Migo. I don't love Reach for the Stars. I'm going to say, motherfucker. I want to say Reach for the Stars has everything you want in this situation. It's got the Bone reunion. It's got Wiz Khalifa, which is the star power. It had the excitement. Bone fans were very excited for this song to come out. I don't personally think that it actually lived up to the excitement that we had. But, you know, it's cool. Twinkle, twinkle, whatever. I love the Bone reunion. That's really the big thing for me here, is that you once again have the Bone team in force, but I'm reunioned out by now. The appeal of we break up, we make up, blah 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 is over for me by now. And I gotta say, I gotta go with Let Me Go Migo. Number 1 on fucking SoundCloud. That's an important thing. I don't care what the circumstances are. This is a leading platform. Lazy Bone had the number 1 fucking song, and it was released late in the year. And it went number 1. That tells you the rise of this. It's not like the song came out in January and had all year to collect plays. This song came out late. Number 1, major platform that makes superstars. Let me go, Migo. Push the fucking button.
Keep in mind, Reach for the Stars, 2.5 mil on YouTube.
Yep.
And also,
number one
don't
forever.
forget,
Number one forever, though.
And for the same 2018, I somehow missed "I'm an Assassin" by Crazy Bone, but I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. So Cecil, you said "Let Me Go, Migo."
I have to,
right?
because and you pointed out the 2.5 million, and plays have been an important factor here, but I've been only factoring plays as the most important factor when there's not other factors there. We got to look at cultural impact and being number one on the most successful, or one of the definitely the most independent successful platform out there on the internet. Being number one, releasing the track, that is cultural impact. The beef with the Migos is current cultural impact. You know, Wiz Khalifa
lasted multiple months. Multiple months. This beef has gone on for multiple months. So it's like a long-standing feud, which has captivated people from all over. Tons of people are making response videos and putting in their piece. So it does have. There was even a Facts Don't Lie Ty Wise episode about it.
Wiz Khalifa, you could argue, doesn't have even the impact that something like the Migos does. They did ride the Migos wave a little bit to this number one spot. I don't think "Let Me Go, Migos" is a better song than "Reach for the Stars." But again, it's got that impact. Number one. When's the last time that Bone can say that about one of their songs on a chart? Number fucking one.
Wow. So Ty, you're the icebreaker, the tiebreaker. What's it gonna be?
Let's see. Cecil definitely said a mouthful there. He covered some really good points. Let's talk about "Reaching for the Stars" first. "Reaching for the Stars," I was very excited for. I love Wiz Khalifa and I love Currency, and they both rap the same to me. They have the same sound. They're some of my favorite rappers. I love those dudes. Wiz Khalifa has a huge reach. He's got a huge fan base. Besides the "Twinkle Twinkle," the song is solid. It's another, it's another crossroady sounding type of song, very soft and, I don't know, it's a little soft for me. But the whole breakup and we make up thing that Cecil talked about, I think now that we've covered this list the last few hours, we've seen a reoccurring theme, huh? They break up, they're back together, break up, back together. And every single time, it's almost like we've gotten less and less, or in my opinion, I've gotten less and less hope as the years have gone on, right? We're so far away now from Faces of Death. We're far away. Eternal's not even in the same continent anymore, because every time they've broken up and gotten back together, I feel like we've lost a piece of the original sound. So here we are, "Reaching for the Stars," Wiz Khalifa. Great song. I actually love "In the Way." That is what new wave should have sounded like, in my opinion. A track like that. But coming out of the blue, the lost file, "Let Me Go, Migo," I think is definitely the most impactful song, because if you think about it, Bone, I mean, shoot, how many years have we gone now? How many years have we gone without a Bone album? Since 2010?
Yeah, I mean, just charting, probably nothing since Uni5 has charted.
We were almost a solid decade with, let's just say, zero relevance in the mainstream for the most part, right? I mean, even with Crazy Bone carrying it on his own, we've had very minimal impact on hip hop culture for a decade, and now Lazy Bo does it on his own. He's got TMZ stories, TMZ's spinning it, all different media outlets are covering it. It's going back and forth, with really more Bone talking more than Migos is really doing it much. But the 21 Savage stuff too, we got to mention that. There's a lot of stuff going on with current rappers, because if you could think back in 2010, none of those dudes were even around, and so Lazy Bone literally stirred the pot, knocked the hornet's nest, and brought Bone back into the light, and which got them talking about getting in the studio and making an album again and all this stuff. I don't know why it took all this, or if it'll ever even happen. But I definitely think it did the job. I mean, it rebranded them, got them in the limelight again. And if sooner than later, if they want to capitalize on the publicity, they need to do something quick. But that song had great impact. People who didn't even realize Bone was around, because I mean, let's face it, the Union 5 album, I would say most of the Bone fans from the 90s have had a lot of Bone fans, casual fans from the 90s had long fallen off. So they didn't even hear Union 5. So to hear Lazy Bone come out with that and Migos and all this stuff, that has a whole new generation, 2 generations at least worth of new listeners coming along to hear this Bone Thugs and Harmony sound. And so I think it was very important, and I think it did its job as far as impact. So Let Me Go Migo, my vote, 2018.
All right, Let Me Go Migo is our representative for 2018. That's amazing. That the very last minute, Let Me Go Migo came in. So that brings us to 2019. We got Carbon. I mean, the year is only 2 months in, not even. It's a 1.5 months in. We already have 4 titles that we could potentially anticipate as. Hopefully, we get more. But our titles for 2019. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't think that I'm gonna pick a 2019 just because we're 2 months in. For me, like you guys can chop it up. I'm hoping that there's a better selection by the end. Carbon Monoxide just dropped. Annihilation by Lazy is pretty dope. But there's just not enough out there. We're 2 months in. There's only a couple tracks. So I don't think I can go picking one of these.
What was the Beastie Boy Fleshbone song called?
Oh yeah, I forgot those. Did those drop this year?
I think so.
There were 2. There was like the one that sampled like the Beastie Boys, and then there was another one too.
Those were last year.
Were those last year?
Who dat? Okay. Yeah, 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the very end. So I guess all that dropped in December. With Lazy Bone and Fleshbone. Lazy Bone beat out Flesh.
For sure.
The hottest song. So okay. Well, you named them, and I agree. I mean, right now I'd say Carbon Monoxide has all the hype. Right now, everybody's doing their reaction videos to it. But yeah, hopefully we get a lot of dope stuff in 2019. I heard some rumors that we were. So, and if the Blaze album comes out, that'll be a big highlight to 2019. So
this was a list. I think that what we picked, I think it fully represents. I hope John decides to make a playlist with all these winners.
Yeah.
As our most important, most impactful Bone songs of 25 years. This was a great list. This took a long time to get through. I knew this was going to take this long. 3 hours and 40 minutes. So this will be broken up in about 3 episodes. But this took a long time, but I feel like the list was good. I feel like we made the right decisions, even though they weren't always the decisions we wanted to make, which is something that we got to do over here. You don't always get to pick your favorite thing, which you got to pick what's right on behalf of Bone, on behalf of history, on behalf of the fans. And I feel good about what the 3 of us did here. I don't think we left anything on the table.
Yeah, and I want to throw in that, this list here could be one of those things that could help get Bone into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, just to show. And we had some years there that it was some real iffy choices that we picked, but they still had songs available in these years, which is incredible. Yeah, and 25 years of songs.
Yeah, that's the point of this list, is to show that 25 years of relevance. I mean, there was truly only like 2, maybe 3. I can only think of like 2 years where I was just like, these are like impossible picks. We're just throwing shit at the wall. There was a couple years where it was like, I don't want to pick something here, but at least there was something. Like, for instance, the year we picked Hip Hop Baby, I was like, there's not much here, but like this year still matters. There was only like 2 years that I was like, there isn't really a mattering year in here. And what the fuck? One of them was the year that we picked All I Ever Know, and when you told me the stats that Excel gave you, that kind of changed that for me. So, this is 25 years of relevance, and I think that's the real thing that this list proves. Fuck what song picked whatever. 25 years of relevancy, and by releasing new music. There's things like Kiss and groups like that. They stay relevant for a long time, but they don't stay relevant through new music. And Bone has continuously still pumped out new music, and most of the time they find a way to at least put numbers on the board, and you got to give them that. 25 years of relevancy. Shit don't stop.
Can one of you guys do a recap, like just name off the 25 years that we have, just to wrap this thing up?
Sure.
Unless you guys got any final words. I know we're way past all of our bedtimes except Cecil's. He doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
And also, I just want to say, Ty, that I did like Only God Could Judge Me as well. I know that was one of your jams on The World's Enemy. I didn't mention it at the time. Yeah. So Cecil, you want to give us a countdown of 25 years of Bone?
Here we go, kids. For and I think, I hope that I
scroll to column H. If you scroll to column H, you'll see all the winners.
Oh, okay.
Your monitor might not. I got a pretty big monitor.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see that you were doing that. I've been switching them over as well. But 1993, Flow Motion. 1994, the Thuggish Ruggish Bone. 1995, we had the First of the Month. 96 brought on The Crossroads, the remix, the most dominant Bone song on this list. 1997 brought us Notorious Thugs. 98, Ghetto Cowboy by the Mo Thugs Family. 99, I Still Believe, with the remix with Da Brat, Crazy Bone, produced by Demiza. Let's see. That was 2000. We got Change the World. 2001, Hard Time Hustlin'. 2002, Home with Phil Collins. 2003, All Life Long from the Mo Thugs Family. 2004, I Understand with Busy Bone. 2005, we were Hip Hop Babies with Bone Thugs. 2006, the Grammy Award-winning Ridin' Dirty. 2007, the resurrection of the brand with I Tried featuring Akon. 2008, A Song for You with DMX. 2009, See Me Shine. 2000 and what did I just say? 10. I can't see the thing. 2010, we had Rebirth. 2011, Explosive by Crazy Bone. 2012, 24/7, The Grinder, Crazy Bone. 2008, we had Everything 100 with Ty Dolla $ign. 2009, Stay Trill, Trey the Truth,
2014.
Crazy Bone. 2014. Yep. I don't know what the fuck I said. I can't see the dates anymore. 2014, Stay Trill, Trey the Truth, Crazy Bone, over 1 million plays. 2015, Cloudy from Chasing the Devil, Crazy Bone. Let's see. 2016, All I Ever Know. 2017, Coming Home from New Waves. And then 2018, we wrapped up the whole thing with the SoundCloud #1 by Lazy Bone, Let Me Go, Me Go. And we're in 2019. I look forward to us maybe going over 2019 at the end of the year and talking about what the biggest song was this year. Right now, we got a couple good ones on the block with Carbon Monoxide, which is another Migos diss, Annihilation, which I actually believe is poking at the Migos as well, Mr. Murder Mo. There's a few other ones out there as well. So 2019 is looking good, but that is your list. And that was many, many hours of our life talking about Bone, Thugs and Harmony.
I appreciate you guys for doing this with me. This was a special one for me, and I'm glad we got to do it. And I hope the fans enjoyed it. I hope they're by now totally killing the comments board, telling us how idiots we are and how we don't know our Bone and what the real Bone best song of or most important song per year is. So let us have it. By now, you're on the 3rd video. And but yeah, once again, thanks for taking the time to listen to this with us. Thanks to Ty Wise and Cecil West for making this possible along with me. And yeah, man. Ty, you got any final words?
No, I thought this was a long overdue episode. Had a great time discussing all these tracks. And you know what's funny is we moved some shit around, man. You know, it looked like we had some sure layups, and I think all of us convinced each other on one or another year that something should be in a certain order. So, and we actually added to the list some tracks we forgot. That should be on the list. So, you know, sometimes that just goes to show, you know, sometimes you think you've heard it all, listened to it a lot, and you hear an opinion, and you start thinking about it, and you forget how many tracks Bone actually put out each year. And there's still some songs that we don't have on the list, especially in the thick era in the 90s and early 2000s that could definitely make it on there to be debated. So I'm looking forward to seeing the comments.
And on top of that, we had runners up, so that brings us to 50 tracks, and then there's even a third column that brings us to 75. And I mean, we almost hit 100 nominees for this list here. You know, that's insane to have that many noteworthy songs. A few of them maybe, you know, in those bad eras that they're not noteworthy, but there was a lot from the hit years that could have been in there. So Bone has just so many hits. Find me a group, artist, anybody that's got more than Bone. They may not be number ones like Mariah Carey has all those number ones, but as far as just hit tracks, Bone's got so many.
It'll be hard pressed. And I think one of the biggest takeaways is at the end of the day, for better and for worse, through some of the albums that we hate, through some of the albums that we love, man, they've been making music. They didn't stop. So hopefully,
quarter century.
You know, yeah, that's a long time. And to have 5 different artists to still be able to come together or to still be able to have the desire to make music, that says a lot. Because in this last 20 plus years, there's been a lot of one-hit wonders and a lot of great artists that have come and gone. And way gone. They haven't even touched a microphone in a decade or more. So that just goes to show you that at least the heart's still in it, although we have different, you know, opinions about what they're doing. And I know I have some, but the moral of the story is 20 years plus strong. They're still making music. They're still putting forth the effort. They're still getting behind the mic and making music. So that's important.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of John Lippy and Ty Wise, I am Cecil West, and this is Thug Thursday. This was the 25-year discussion of Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. We appreciate everybody rocking with us. Once again, it is that time. Feenics Ryzin, bring us home.
Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. In the videos every Thursday, so join us.